Hello, Internet world. It's Daniel back for a long hiatus here with Driving and Dragons. Sorry, it's been a minute since I've been able to sit down and get some recording done. 280ZX, we were moving along with some of this valve cover gentrification project I got going on here. But today I'm just back with a bit of a channel announcement, kind of a big one for me. I've been working on a D30 based role-playing game system for quite a while now. And I've gathered together a group of players, and we're going to start doing some actual play footage that will be the alpha test of my D30 system. And what we're going to do is we're going to play through a lot of the classic modules from different tabletop role-playing games as I convert them into my system to test out how my rules work and how everything plays out. Starting with a lot of our classic fantasy system modules, a lot of your classic D&D modules, and that's mainly going to be because the D30 system, I'm starting with a sword and sorcery, low magic rule set to kind of work through some of the combat kinks, test that out, and of course, fantasy role-playing tends to be the most popular, so it kind of makes sense to do it first. The thing I need help with is I need ideas for what modules would be most fun to run and what I should do first. Tomb of Horrors is obviously on the list because everybody does Tomb of Horrors, and it's actually one of my favorite modules. We've got Dungeon Land, Keep on the Borderlands. You've got Sunless Citadel, Forge of Fury, 3 Days to Kill, which is not necessarily a big classic, but it's one of my favorites. Lost Mines of Phandelver from 5th edition. There's all kinds of great fantasy modules out there that are classics that fit that itch. You let me know below. What do you think I should start with? What should be on the short list of what module we start with? A couple other things here is the good old-fashioned drama and rumor mill is, of course, cranking now that the 5.5 D&D system is starting to come out, D&D 2024. Gonna have to do some reaction soon. I know that Generic Jenny D has done a fluff piece interview with Jeremy Crawford to take a look at what's coming out of Dungeons & Dragons. We've got drama coming down with poor old world builder Bob World Builder, who's just kind of, he gets worse each time. I always liked him before in the early days, and he has just become more and more Bob WOTC shill instead of Bob World Builder. And it's kind of sad to see him shilling out so hard for them and carrying their water. But a lot of mess going on with this new release. We got, of course, the Mexican orc situation. We've got the fact that there's no such thing as a race anymore, or a species anymore, because they've made the just incredibly stupid decision to get rid of all racial modifiers. And not only did they get rid of the racial modifiers, they completely eliminated penalties, which is just participation trophy bullshit. There's no longer a trade-off in anything. You don't have to trade off some speed to get power. You don't have to trade off some durability to pick up wisdom or intelligence. And it's just totally unrealistic in every way. You can't be good at everything. And we see that in nature all the way. You look at all the big cats out there. Each different, race or species of big cat, your tigers are bulkier and more powerful than any of the other cats. You have jaguars that have given up a little bit to get their climbing and their swimming abilities better. You have cheetahs that have given up basically all of their bite force and claw power and everything to get their incredible short burst running speed. You see it everywhere. You see it with monkeys too. Different monkeys have different strengths and different things that they're better at. And there's trade-offs all the way along because you just can't be physically developed for everything. But, of course, we can't have penalties because if we have any kind of minuses, the snowflakes get mad because they don't want to have to trade anything off for what they get. And then on top of that, now it's just, pick whatever you want. It's not even set by a specific species that you pick. So everything has just become a human cosplay. That's what we've turned Dungeons & Dragons into, is a cosplay convention with dice. You're all generic Jenny D. Did you put on the green face paint and the pointy ears today? Or did you put on the blue face paint and the stunted ears? Or did you put on the big crazy eyebrows and walk around on your knees so you're 3 feet tall. They don't even move at different speeds anymore. Your halflings and gnomes and whatnot move at the same 30-foot speed that a human moves at. And tell me how much that makes sense. Anybody who has a really tall friend, a really short friend, or is the really short or really tall friend knows this struggle. I mean, just take a look at the Olympics. The sprinters are not short, stocky, dwarf-looking guys. And when I say dwarf, I mean like fantasy dwarf. They're long, lean, tall guys with huge legs that just stretch on for days but have virtually no meat on them at all. Because there's a trade-off there. You have to... different body types are better at different things. So you mean to tell me that a guy who is 6'4", weighs 150 pounds, and has legs that are 4.5 feet long is not going to cover 100 meters faster than a 4'11" person who's running on legs half that size? This is just stupidity of the highest order as they continue to sanitize this to make everybody the same. And I've said this more than once, guys. When you try to make everybody the same, all you do is sanitize and scrub out everything that makes anyone special. Nobody is special if everybody has the same stuff. Nobody is unique. You are so fixated on making sure that everybody has equity, you have eliminated all individuality and all flavor, and you just have a gray, meaningless world. It's, you got rid of alignment. There's no more black and white. There's only gray. And gray has no meaning and no definition. And that's not what we need in our fantasy world. There's a bit of a rant for you, a little mini rant on this ridiculous 5.5 stuff. But that's okay. It's going to give us some fodder for a few reactions. I'm going to be able to talk about what the YouTube world is going on and on about. And, of course, we have Gen Con, so there's all kinds of fun stuff coming up out of that. So that's what we got going on for right now. Like I said, short little channel update. I'm going to have a You're Doing It Wrong coming out here soon. And I'll see you guys next time.